Hello, how are students? Akkam jirtu barattoota. Nagaa keessanii History, Ethiopian Internal Developments and External Influences 1941 to 1991 jedhu keessaa gaaffii nuuf hojjedhaa. Gaaffii baay'een qormaata irratti ni dhufa jettanii kommentiidhaan akkuma nagaggaafachaa turtanii eeyyamaa fi fedhii keessan guutuudhaaf gaaffii fi viidiyoo kana qabadhee isiniif dhiyaadheera. Isinis share, like, subscribe gochuudhaan viidiyoon kun vaariyaalii akka ba'uudhaaf akkana utubdan gamanumaan isin gaafadha. እንደምናችሁ ተማሪዎች ሰላም ናችሁ? ባላችሁበት የጌታ ሰላም ይብዛላችሁ። እንግዲህ በውስጥ መስመር Ethiopian Internal Developments and External Influences 1941 to 1991 ከመለው እባክህን ቪዲዮ ስራልን ብላችሁ በጠየቃችሁኝ መሰረት እኔም ፈቃዳችሁን ለመሙላት ይህን ቪዲዮ ይዤላችሁ መጥቻለሁኝ። ይህ ቪዲዮ ቫሪያል እንዲወጣ ሼር፣ ላይክ፣ ሰብስክራይብ፣ ኮሜንት ማድረግን አትዘናጉ። Choose the correct answer from the given alternatives. Question number 1. When did Emperor Haile Selassie return to Addis Ababa after the Italian occupation? A. In 1940. B. May 5, 1941. C. June 12, 1942. D. March 6, 1940. Question number 2. Which foreign power dominated Ethiopia's internal and external affairs after 1941? A. Italy. B. USA. C. Britain. D. France. Question number 3. The British military mission to Ethiopia was primarily established to A. Supervise taxation. B. Train the Ethiopian army. C. To control the judiciary. D. To monitor elections. Question number 4. The 1942 Anglo-Ethiopian Agreement did not give Ethiopia with A. recognition as an independent state. B. use of Italian properties. C. full sovereignty. D. British military advisors. Question number 5. Which Ethiopian region was under British control until 1954? A. Eritrea. B. Tigray. C. Ogaden. D. Gojam. Haile Selassie returned to Addis Ababa after the Italian occupation in May 5, 1941. B is the correct answer. In 1940, Ethiopia had not been liberated in struggle with Italy. June 12, 1942, the Anglo-Ethiopian Agreement was marked, and also March 6, 1940, no significant national event happened. The Haile Selassie returnation. Britain dominates Ethiopia's internal and external affairs after 1941. A. Italy is not the answer because it was defeated in 1941 and no longer had any control over Ethiopia. While USA, the United States, did not assume administrative or military authority at this time. And also, France had no major post-occupation influencing or presence in Ethiopian governance. As a result, C is the correct answer for question number 2. The British military mission to Ethiopia was primarily established to train the Ethiopian army. B is the correct answer. A says to supervise taxation. Taxation was not under the jurisdiction of the British military mission. C says that to control the judiciary. Judiciary matters remained under Ethiopian sovereignty control. And D is not the answer because it says to monitor elections. No electoral system was instituted or supervised by the British during this time. The main military mission of British to Ethiopia was to train the Ethiopian army. The 1942 Anglo-Ethiopian Agreement did not give Ethiopia the full sovereignty. A is not the answer. The recognition as an independent state says A. This is not the answer because Ethiopia was recognized as a sovereign, though limited in practice. While B says use of Italian properties. No, The agreement allowed Ethiopia to reclaim former Italian infrastructure. And also, D is not the answer because British military advisors, it says, these were explicitly part of the agreement's military cooperation terms. So, the 1942 Anglo-Ethiopian agreement did not give Ethiopia the full sovereignty. Ogaden was Ethiopian region under British until 1954. Eritrea, federated in 1952, not in 1954, was under the British rule. Tigray, this region was under Ethiopian control throughout and also never occupied by the British. Gojam was a stronghold of Ethiopian resistance and was never under the foreign control post 1941. Question number 6. What was the main goal of the Unionist Party in Ethiopia? A. To establish Islamic law. B. Remain under British rule. C. To unify Eritrea with Ethiopia. D. Joining Sudan. Question number 7. United Nations Resolution of 390V in 1952 decided that Eritrea would A. Gain independence, B. Join Sudan, C. Remain a colony, D. Federate with Ethiopia. Question number 8. When was the Eritrean Liberation Movement formed? A. 1950, B. 1958, C. 1961, D. 1970. Question number 9. In what year was the Eritrean People's Liberation Front formed? A. 1958, B. 1961, C. 1973, D. 1982. Question number 10. Operation Red Star was a military campaign launched to A. Fight Somalia, B. Resettle farmers, C. Crush the Eritrean rebellion, D. To introduce land reform. The main goal of the Unionist Party in Eritrea was to unify Eritrea with Ethiopia. C is the correct answer. Unionist Party was a secular and also focused on political unity with Ethiopia, not in religion. So, A is not the correct answer. The Unionist Party opposed continued British administration. So, B is not the answer again. There was no intention or proposal from the Unionist Party to unite with Sudan. Again, D is not the answer. So, unifying Eritrea with Ethiopia was the main goal of the Unionist Party in Eritrea. The United Resolution 390V in 1952 decided that Eritrea would federate with Ethiopia. D is the correct answer for question number 7. Eritrea was not granted independence. It was federated with Ethiopia. So, gaining independence is not the correct answer. Again, the resolution made no reference to joining Sudan. So, B, which says join Sudan, is not the correct answer. Again, the resolution ended Eritrea's colonial status by establishing federation. Remaining a colony is not the correct answer about Eritrea. As a result, Eritrea was federated with Ethiopia decided by the United Nations Resolution of 390V in 1952. The Eritrean Liberation Movement, ELM, was formed in 1958. B is the correct answer. 1961 was the year of Eritrean Liberation Front, not Eritrean Liberation Movement. In 1970, Eritrean Liberation Front and Eritrean People's Liberation Front, ELF and EPLF, were active, and ELM, Eritrean Liberation Movement, was declined. The Eritrean People Liberation Front was formed during 1973. In 1958, Eritrean Liberation Movement was formed. Eritrean Liberation Front began to army in 1961. So, C is the correct answer for question number 9. C is the correct answer for question number 10. The Operation Red Star was a military campaign which was launched to crush the Eritrean rebellion. Question number 11. What triggered the student movement in 1960s up to 1970s Ethiopia? A. Increase in salaries. B. Derg's land policy. C. Italian return. D. Social injustice and the lack of reform. Question number 12. The slogan "Land to Tiller" was popularized by A. Church leaders. B. The military. C. The monarchy. D. University students. Question number 13. When was Emperor Haile Selassie deposed? A. In 1971. B. In 1974. C. In 1977. D. In 1980. Question number 14. The Derg was originally formed by A. Students and teachers. B. Religious leaders. C. Nobles and aristocrats. D. Military officers. Question number 15. What did the 1975 land reform declare? A. Land belongs to landlords. B. Peasants must pay taxes. C. Foreigners could buy land. D. Land belongs to the tiller. There was no an increase in salaries during 1960s to 70s in Ethiopia. So A is not the answer. The students' movement began before 1974, yet the Derg was not exist. So B is not the answer. Italy was not returned after defeated in 1941. So the social injustice and the lack of reform was the triggered students' movements in 1962, 1970s in Ethiopia. D is the correct answer. The slogan "Land to Tiller" was popularized by a university students. D is the correct answer, while A, B, and C are not the correct answer about the slogan of "Land to Tiller." Emperor Haile Selassie was deposed during 1974. B is the correct answer. Derg was originally formed by military officers, not by the students and the teachers, not by the religious leaders, and also not by the nobles and aristocrats. So, D is the correct answer for question number 14. Land belongs to the tiller. Did the 1975 land reform declare? So, D is the correct answer for question number 15. Question number 16. Under whom was the National Literacy Campaign launched? A. Haile Selassie. B. Italians. C. The monarchy and the church. D. The Derg. Question number 17. The Red Terror Campaign targeted A. Somali invaders. B. Opposition groups like EPRP. C. Government supporters. D. Eritrean farmers. Question number 18. Who led the Derg during the Red Terror? A. Mangasha Siyum. B. Mengistu Haile Mariam. C. Haile Selassie. D. Haile Fida. Question number 19. What was the main purpose of the 1987 Constitution? A. Promote monarchy. B. Unite with Eritrea. C. Legalize the Workers' Party of Ethiopia. D. Allow multi-party democracy. The National Literacy Campaign launched under the Derg. Haile Selassie focused on elite education. So, D is the correct answer for question number 16. The Red Terror Campaign targeted the opposition groups like EPRP. So, B is the correct answer for question number 17. Somali invaders were externals. The leader of Derg during the Red Terror was Mengistu Hailemariam. B is the correct answer. Legalize the Workers' Party of Ethiopia was the main purpose of 1987 constitution. So, C is the correct answer for question number 19. Question number 20. The Workers' Party of Ethiopia replaced which body? A. ELF. B. PMAC. Derg. C. EPRP. D. Imperial Senate. Question number 21. The major cause of the 1984 up to 85 famine was A. Overproduction. B. Land reform. C. High rainfall. D. Drought and the civil war. Question number 22. The villagization program was intended to A. Encourage nomadism. B. Disperse rural people. C. Support landlords. D. Improve service access and state control. Question number 23. Which group led armed resistance against the Derg in Tigray? A. OLF. B. EPRP. C. TPLF. D. WPE. Question number 24. Eritrea gained official independence in A. 1989, B. 1991, C. 1993, D. 1995. Question number 25. Who led the transitional government after 1991? A. ELF, B. OLF, C. TPLF alone, D. EPRDF. The Worker Party of Ethiopia replaced Derg. B is the correct answer. The major cause of the 1984 up to 1985 famine was drought and the civil war. D is the correct answer for question number 21. Villagization program aimed to centralize rural population to increase state control and services. So, D is the correct answer for question number 22. The villagization program was intended to improve service access and state control. The major armed resistance group from Tigray, which is known as TPLF, Tigray People's Liberation Front, fought Derg's regime. So, C is the correct answer for question number 23. TPLF led armed resistance against the Derg in Tigray. Eritrean independence officially declared in 1993 after the United Nations supervised referendum. So, C is the correct answer for question number 24. EPRDF led the transitional government after 1991. D is the correct answer for question number 25. Question number 26. The EPRDF is a coalition of A. Religious leaders, B. Royalists, C. Ethnically based political movement, D. Urban professionals. Question number 27. Who became president after the fall of the Derg? A. Mengistu Hailemariam, B. Hailemariam Desalegn, C. Tefari Banti, D. Meles Zenawi. Question number 28. The Derg collapsed mainly due to A. Land reform, B. Return of monarchy, C. Military defeats and economic collapse, D. Victory over Somalia. Question number 29. The Red Terror mainly targeted A. Government supporters, B. Urban leftist groups, C. Foreign invaders, D. Drought victims. Question number 30. The Derg officially came to power in A. 1971, B. 1974, C. 1976, D. 1987. EPRDF is a coalition of ethnically based political movement, including TPLF, OPIDIO, and ANDM. C is the correct answer for question number 26. Meles Zenawi became a president after the fall of Derg? D is the correct answer for question number 27. The Derg collapsed mainly due to the military defeats and economic collapse. C is the correct answer for question number 28. The Red Terror mainly targeted the urban leftist group, urban users. So B is the correct answer for question number 29. The Derg officially came to power in 1974. B is the correct answer for question number 30.
Chaanalii keessan Geolesson 17 Tube waan daawwattaniif galatooma. Geolesson 17 Tube chaanalaachun sila gobanyaachuu amasagganaallaf. Geolesson 17 Tube chaanalii milkoomina egeree dhalootaaf dhimmu.